My dear students of class 9A and 9B, now I am going to teach you about the following points. The points Delhi Sultanate. The points number 1, the establishment of Delhi Sultanate, and next point, the Mamluk or slave dynasty, and next point, Kutubuddin Aibak. The first point, establishment of Delhi Sultanate. Establishment of Delhi Sultanate. You know, my dear students, Kutubuddin Aibak came with his master Muhammad Ghori. Muhammad Ghori came to India to invade our country. But before Muhammad Ghori, another one also came to India. Another one also invaded India. Who was he? He was Sultan Mahmud. Sultan Mahmud invaded India. But basically, both the two invaders invaded India with a view to different purpose. With a view to different purposes. Mahmud of Ghazni invaded India in order to plunder Indian wealth, in order to make his own country benefited. But Muhammad Ghori invaded India not only to plunder Indian wealth, but also to establish a rule in India. So, unlike Mahmud of Ghazni, Muhammad Ghori invaded India and faced Indian rulers in order to establish a rule of Ghor dynasty. The time when he declared war against Indian rulers, his favorite slave Kutubuddin Aibak was with him. In the beginning, he faced the ruler of Ajmer and Delhi. Who was he? He was Prithviraj Chauhan. Prithviraj Chauhan and Muhammad Ghori faced a battle in the first battle of Tarain in the year 1191 CE. In the first battle of Tarain, Prithviraj Chauhan defeated Muhammad Ghori. But in this book it is written, Prithviraj Chauhan defeated Muhammad Ghori and then arrested him and imprisoned. But later on he released him from jail and allowed him to go to his own country, Afghanistan. But in other volumes, it is written that Prithviraj Chauhan, after defeating Muhammad Ghori, assembled in a place and enjoyed with all the soldiers and was making victory lap. Forgot whether his opponent Muhammad Ghori was arrested. Meanwhile, Muhammad Ghori escaped and ultimately was able to reach his country, Afghanistan. But which one is correct and which one is incorrect, that is not our matter. The thing which is written in your book, we have to follow it. The book which is prescribed by the council, we have to follow. Whatever written in this book, we have to follow this point. Anyway, Prithviraj Chauhan defeated, and then Muhammad Ghori got back, and next year, in the year 1192 CE, he once again challenged the authority of Prithviraj Chauhan. He came with a large army, but Prithviraj Chauhan was unable to check the authority of Muhammad Ghori and was defeated in the second battle of Tarain. So, two important places, Ajmer and Delhi, the Delhi came under the control of Muhammad Ghori. Muhammad Ghori appointed his favorite slave Kutubuddin Aibak as the governor of the two states, or ruler of the two states, not ruler, governor of the two states. But after the death of Muhammad Ghori, Qutubuddin Aibak declared himself an independent ruler of Delhi and introduced a good administrative system throughout the country. Qutubuddin Aibak was a man of letters and kind-hearted person. That's why he was also known as Laks Baks. Since the Delhi Sultanate was founded with the hands of, Muhammad Ghori and later his favorite slave, Qutubuddin Aibak, the first and foremost slave dynasty at the Delhi Sultanate was slave dynasty or Mamluk dynasty. There were 5 dynasties ruled throughout. There were 5 dynasties ruled under Delhi Sultanate. These 5 dynasties were Mamluk dynasty or slave dynasty, then Khalji dynasty, then Tughlaq dynasty, then Said dynasty, and at last the dynasty Lodi dynasty. These were the 5 dynasties. These 5 dynasties are collectively known as Delhi Sultanate. Now question is, why is the slave dynasty, why is it called slave dynasty, the slave dynasty or Mamluk dynasty? Why is it called the slave dynasty or Mamluk dynasty? It is called the slave dynasty or Mamluk dynasty because the rulers who became the rulers of that dynasty, they all were the slaves of Muhammad Ghori. Who became the ruler of Mamluk dynasty, they all were the slaves of Muhammad Ghori. That's why they all were known as slaves. That's why this dynasty also was known as slave dynasty or Mamluk dynasty. And second one, third point, Qutubuddin Aibak. Who was Qutubuddin Aibak? Qutubuddin Aibak, as I told you earlier, was a slave of Muhammad Ghori. On being slave, he gained the faith of his master Muhammad Ghori. So Muhammad Ghori decided to give him an opportunity to establish himself as a great king or great ruler of India. Initially, he decided to invade India, but unlike Mahmud of Ghazni, he did not plunder well. He did not invade India to plunder wealth of India, plundered money of India, plundered ornaments of India, but to establish a rule of Muhammad Ghori. That's why after defeating the ruler of Ajmer and Delhi, Prithviraj Chauhan, he founded Ghor dynasty and appointed a person who was very much, faithful slave, who was a very faithful slave and favorite person of Muhammad Ghori. That very person was appointed as the governor of Ajmer or Delhi. Who was he? He was Qutubuddin Aibak, the founder ruler of Mamluk dynasty or slave dynasty of the Delhi Sultanate. Qutubuddin Aibak was very much fond of playing polo. So while playing polo, suddenly he fell down from the horseback and died. After the death of Qutubuddin Aibak, his son-in-law, who was also a slave, of Muhammad Ghori, son-in-law of Qutubuddin Aibak, Iltutmish became the ruler of the Delhi Sultanate. Qutubuddin Aibak constructed the Quatul Mulk Mosque at Delhi on being the ruler of Delhi. But afterwards, Qutubuddin Aibak also started the construction of Qutub Minar. But the time when the construction was going on, suddenly Qutubuddin Aibak died. So the remaining part of that construction was completed by his son-in-law, Iltutmish. Initially, there were two stories were constructed by Qutubuddin Aibak, and afterwards, from third story onwards, his son-in-law Iltutmish started constructing. And whenever the fourth stories got completed, due to lightning, the upper portion of Qutub Minar was deeply damaged. And then, Ghiyasuddin Tughlaq, another ruler of the Delhi Sultanate of Tughlaq dynasty, Ghiyasuddin Tughlaq extended the upper portion. He also got completed two more stories and repaired the portion which was totally damaged. So it is said that during his rule, Ghiyasuddin Tughlaq duly repaired it and made it more and more strong, and ultimately the construction work also was given a complete shape. Anyway, so Qutub Minar was constructed. Now question is, why was Qutub Minar constructed? Qutub Minar was constructed. Many of us usually who do not like to read the history. Why was Qutub Minar constructed? Under whose name the Qutub Minar was constructed? Under the name of Qutubuddin Aibak sir. Qutub Minar was constructed in the name of Qutubuddin Aibak, but this is not right. This is absolutely wrong. Since Qutub Minar was construction work was done by Qutubuddin Aibak, and the name of the minar was also Qutub Minar. Many students know that the minar was named in the name of Delhi Sultanate Qutubuddin Aibak, but it is absolutely wrong. One Sufi saint came with Muhammad Ghori at Delhi, and while staying there, he gained popularity, faith, respect from the people. Local people considered him as the representative of Allah God. That's why they had great respect for that Sufi saint. The name of that Sufi saint was Khaja Bakhtiyar Kaki. And that very person, Khaja Qutubuddin Bakhtiyar Kaki, in the name of that very person, Qutubuddin Bakhtiyar Kaki, the Sufi saint, Qutubuddin Aibak started the construction work by naming the minar in the name of him, Qutub Minar. So in order to commemorate the image of the Sufi saint, Khaja Qutubuddin Bakhtiyar Kaki, he named it Qutub Minar. Qutub Minar had 379 stairs which led to the upstairs. Already in my previous class I taught it. And last point, now what is the another point is Iltutmish. Iltutmish was a very strict disciplinarian, introduced a good system of administration, and also checked the growing influence of the nobles. Most of the nobles came under the control of Iltutmish. Iltutmish also started a good network system of spies and took information from them. And he also, his main work was to keep watch over the work of the nobles, so that the nobles must not make any conspiracy against the king or against the dynasty, against the country. That's why there was a good system of administration throughout the country during the rule of Iltutmish. But the sons of Iltutmish, they are not as efficient as their father Iltutmish was, but only Iltutmish's daughter Razia Sultana. Razia Sultana was such kind of a person. The people disliked him since he was a woman. But Iltutmish knew that none but only his daughter Razia might become the ruler of the Delhi Sultanate, because she had ability, she had skill, she had originalities to handle all crises, to solve all the problems, and to fight against her enemies, and to establish a good system of administration and rule at Delhi. That's why she intended to make her daughter Razia Sultana to be the next ruler of the Delhi Sultanate. But next time I shall discuss about it. But the nobles, bureaucrats and others, they antagonized it, because they did not want, they did not like that matter a lady would become the ruler of the Delhi Sultanate for the first time. But ultimately Razia made it wrong. The Razia proved it, but Razia proved it wrong by projecting herself, and by declaring herself the Sultan of the Delhi Sultanate. Ultimately, what happened? In my next class I shall teach it. Up to this, my dear students, thank you.